Good evening, this is Zaid Aladdin. We begin with the headlines. His Majesty King Abdullah meets with US President Joe Biden and stresses that the war on Gaza is one of the most devastating wars in recent history. The Ministers of Government, Communication and Awqaf affirmed that Jordan will continue its efforts to defend the Palestinian cause. And at least 133 Palestinians are killed and 162 wounded in Israeli strikes on the Gaza Strip. And now for the details. His Majesty King Abdullah met with US President Joe Biden at the White House, where he stressed that the war on Gaza is one of the most devastating wars in recent history. In joint remarks to the press following a meeting with President Biden attended by His Royal Highness Crown Prince Hussein, His Majesty highlighted the need for a lasting ceasefire and an end to this war. King Abdullah noted that the situation is already unbearable for over 1 million people who have been pushed into Rafah since the war started. His Majesty stressed that UNRWA's work in other areas of operation, especially in Jordan, where 2.3 million Palestinian refugees are registered, is also vital. President Biden said the United States is working on a hostage deal between Israel and Hamas, which would bring an immediate and sustained period of ceasefire to Gaza for at least 6 weeks. Minister of Government Communications Mohanad Maydeen said Jordan is continuing its efforts to defend the Palestinian cause and put an end to Israel's war on the Gaza Strip. In a meeting with media representatives attended by Minister of Awqaf and Islamic Affairs Mohammed Al-Khalaila, Maydeen highlighted that the attention given by the Awqaf Ministry to Jerusalem's holy sites, pointing to the Hashemite custodianship of Jerusalem's holy shrines. Al-Khalaili, for his part, pointed to the kingdom's efforts to support Al-Aqsa Mosque in occupied Jerusalem, adding that 20% of the ministry's budget, which amounts to 17 million JDs, is allocated to the Jerusalem Awqaf Department. The minister said that there are 7,500 mosques in Jordan through which the ministry works to highlight moderation, reject extremism, and consolidate Islamic values. The Gaza Health Ministry said Israeli forces committed 16 massacres against the Palestinians in the past 24 hours, killing more than 133 people and injuring 162 others in various parts of the besieged enclave. According to the ministry, the Palestinian death toll has surpassed 28,470, while about 68,150 have been injured in Israeli strikes since October of last year. Meanwhile, South Africa has made an urgent request to the International Court of Justice to consider whether Israel's decision to extend its military operations in Rafah requires that the court uses its power to prevent further breach of the rights of Palestinians in Gaza. The Directorate of Operations and Consular Affairs at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs said that efforts are underway to evacuate 54 Jordanian citizens from the Gaza Strip today. The ministry's spokesperson, Sufyan Quda, said a team from the Jordanian embassy in Cairo is currently present at the Egyptian side of the border with Gaza to facilitate the evacuation process and provide those Jordanians with needed assistance before transporting them to the kingdom. In the occupied West Bank, Israeli forces shot and killed a Palestinian youth during a raid in the city of Qalqilia. Palestinian sources said that the occupation forces stormed the northern city of Qalqilia and shot the 20-year-old Palestinian in his vehicle. Meanwhile, the Israeli army arrested 22 Palestinians in the cities of Jenin, Ramallah, Hebron, Beit Lahem, Salfit, and Jerusalem. That's it for tonight. Thank you and goodbye.